Hey guys, I thought I'd make a video addressing a couple problems that I saw the team having, both in the time that I was there and now. These problems have easy solutions and it would benefit the team moving forward. I want to specifically target the sprinters. There are many technical issues in both form, technique, race strategy, and workout plans that I see can be improved. I myself implemented these on my own, both during my last season on the team and for 3 months after I left. In this time, I found that I made positive results, and I think that you guys should benefit from this too. I will be addressing certain aspects within this event that often go unnoticed, and hopefully you can get a visual representation of what the coaches mean when they say things like keep your knees up or pump your arms, anything like that. These phrases are simple, but they are very technical, and I myself made the mistake of believing I was doing what they asked, but I wasn't until I compared myself to other runners on the team, amateur level sprinters, and even pro athletes. And that is when I noticed what it is they meant when they said these things to me. So starting with the 100 meter dash, it's such a short race and it's simple enough where one can go and say it's a race to the finish. But it's so much more technical than that because so many factors go into what leads to better times and less injury. I would like to start with proper sprinting mechanics, otherwise known as form, because it is the most essential part of the race aside from natural speed and endurance. The goal of using proper sprinting mechanics is to sprint more efficiently and avoid injury compared to the way that we as runners tend to sprint. Of course, this is not the only way to sprint, but it is the most natural and least injury-prone way to drop times and get faster. This form is also assuming that you are in shape, eating healthily, drinking water, and moderately flexible. Otherwise, this form is hard to apply and master. The 100 meter dash is also split into 3 parts: the block start, the acceleration phase, which is characterized by the first 40 meters, and the sprinting phase, which is characterized by the last 60 meters. Because I am going to explain the sprinting mechanics of the 100 meter dash, I will combine the acceleration and sprinting phases here, and hopefully I can make a video on the block start soon. The acceleration phase takes place in the first 40 meters, which requires you as a runner to stay low, drive your knees, and get out hard and fast. Again, this language is both simple and confusing. A classic example of the mistake I made, and I'm sure you all make, is with the stay low concept. It does not mean that you arch your back or that you lean your body completely forward. The stay low concept refers to the relationship of your steps to your center of mass, which is your chest. You will have your chest leading in of front of your waist by ever so slight amounts. As you run, the angle will diminish until you are upright and entering the sprint phase. Your feet movements, also known as rotation, will start behind your waist, move under your body, and then proceed towards the front of your body. Here is Olympian Asafa Powell, who has a great acceleration phase. Notice as he stays low. His rotation is behind him, and his chest is in front of his waist, but as he accelerates, he brings it up. In this phase, you want as little leg sway from side to side, and instead, you want as much forward movement. This is achieved by using low points of contact and having power in your steps. As you keep your steps low, you can see the entire leg structure begin to move forward and in front of your body. Your body will naturally pull up as you hit your top speed, and that is where you will enter the sprinting phase. Having talked about the rotation of your feet moving from behind your body to the front, the term front side mechanics comes to mind. This occurs when you have achieved max speed and are entering the proper sprinting form. There are 3 main phases to proper sprinting mechanics. There is a toe down, mid stance, and toe off. The goal behind this is to run on your toes and increase your rotation by leading with your knees. Keep in mind to have your body standing tall at this point, keeping the head centered with little movement as possible, keeping the shoulders relaxed rather than crunched up and tensed. The toe down position is the first point of contact of your toe to the track. At this point, the leading leg is in front of your center of mass, the chest. The arms are going to be in an almost crunched axis, and it'll look like they are both at your waist. In this case we have here, my swing leg is very far back, and this means it takes more time for my rotation recovery to occur. Compare this to Andre DeGrasse or Asafa Powell, who both have great form but use their bodies differently. They have a nice crunch position in their arms, and they of course have optimized rotation. So you can see the bent knee is actually ahead of the leg that is touching the ground. Since we are not pros, and many are learning this form for the first time, it is okay to see the swing leg under the waist almost approaching the knee of the leading leg and flex. The mid stance is the point at which the same lead leg we saw in the toe down position has reached its lowest point. In other words, it's the instance at which the heel of the lead leg touches the track. Your legs should form a figure 4 at this point. Ideally, the knee of the next lead leg will be passing the one that is touching the ground and approaching a 90-degree angle to your upper body. At the very least, it should be at the same level as the other knee. Here is a video of me running. Notice how my swing leg is barely reaching the knee of the leg touching the ground, when my heel is at its lowest. At this point, it should be ahead of the leg touching the ground in order to form the figure 4 position that I am clearly not making at this point. I don't form the figure 4 until much later when I'm almost at the toe off position. Compare this to the legs again to DeGrasse and Powell. He has his bent knee here ahead of his leg that is touching the ground. His arms are nice and tight next to his body. Again, you want to stand tall and have relaxed shoulders. They do seem to drop down when they sprint, but that has to do with their form in the next phase of sprinting. The toe off position is the last point that your foot touches the track. In this position, you should form a nice 90-degree angle to your body and your toe should be flexed up. Ideally, the leg touching the ground is not too stretched out. And the dipping or dropping effect you see with DeGrasse and Powell comes from the fact that from the knee down, they actually have their knee bent, whereas I have my entire leg stretched out. Notice how Asafa Powell stays centered in his lane and sways only twice throughout his race. We have established that he has an optimized sprinting form. The arms will follow the legs, so if you cross your arms in front of your body, your legs and knees will follow suit and swing side to side behind you. His lateral and forward movements help keep his form facing forward, and that also prevents him from losing balance and going to one side. Now, lane sway is normal since it is hard to control your movements at high speeds, but lane sway can also be explained due to uneven strides between both legs. If you take a 5 to 6 meter stride with the right leg, but you take a 7 to 8 meter stride with your left leg, your bodily movement will sway to your right and vice versa. To prevent this uneven stride length in both legs, it is crucial to adopt the proper front side mechanics and also to keep the shoulders loose so that your arms can swing for your legs to follow. Moreover, proper stretching with both legs can aid with one leg if the one that is less flexible causes less of a stride length. And in addition, we actually make the mistake of doing our calisthenics casually. As a captain of the team, I made the calisthenics seem as a mere muscle warm-up, which it is not. If done correctly, the calisthenics will actually help develop the form in a warm-up manner, and because we do calisthenics every day, that form becomes locked in the muscle memory. Here is a great example of how our A, B, and C skips are meant to be done. In addition, a technical part of the A skip should be focused on keeping the back straight and tall, the arms rotating with the correct leg, the knee coming up to 90 degrees, the toes flexed, the rotating legs at the same time in the air instead of one at a time. The last part is the jog out, which is a mistake I made as well, where I would jog out the calisthenic in a manner that would shake out my soreness in the muscle, and this is wrong because the jog out should be used to practice the form you are doing in the A skip. So, in a small nutshell, this is what the 100-meter dash is supposed to entail in terms of form, technique, strategy, and calisthenics. Alright guys, thank you for watching. In the future, I hope to make videos on the 200-meter dash, the 300-meter hurdles, and the 400-meter dash. Again, explaining form, technique, and anything that has to do with race strategy. And a block start video will also be coming soon, so stick around for that. Thank you again. Peace out.